Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master today. Today we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Starfinder science fantasy role playing. And we have been playing through the Against the Aeon Throne Adventure Path, but we are currently on a briefed version playing through an adventure called Fistful of Shobhads, set in the past and on the desert planet of Akiton. With me today are the stars of the Against the Aeon Throne Adventure Path, or campaign. First up is Mo.
Hi, I'm Mo, or Morris. I'm playing Kat, who is a drow operative. Operative in Starfinder is somewhat analogous to a rogue for non-Starfinder players. But in other games, it might be more the hacker, decker type archetype.
Nice. And next up is Thomas.
Hello, I'm Thomas, and I'm playing Zakros. He's a mystic in Starfinder, a human priest of Pharasma, the Lady of Graves.
Nice.
And I try to keep the group alive.
Nice. Trying to rob your lady of their souls. And last but not least, joining us just now is Brent.
Hey, I am playing Tom, the android technomancer, who is a xenoarchaeologist, sort of like a flexible Indiana Jones who looks like middle-aged David Bowie.
Nice. Tomb robber. Our intrepid captain is unfortunately not able to join us today due to a family commitment, so we will be down Vuldan, our intrepid Veskin captain. But let's start, guys, with a quick recap of what happened last session. What do you guys remember about... So first off, let's drop our Nova points down to 1, because you'll start the session with 1 Nova point. And for those listening at home, we have been using house rules for like hero points for this game, and then now that Pathfinder 2 is out, we're kind of gonna try using the same type of rules that they use for it. So we just call them Nova points, though, because it's a science fantasy game. All right. So everyone's down to... Why do you have an X on yours, Brent? You haven't got a condition ongoing, do you?
Nope. Hang on.
Check your character sheet. You can actually forget and leave it on. I've done that before.
I'm like, I hope I didn't come down with anything
-3 on all my skills.
Well, we forgot you died last session. So, zombie android.
Okay, that's better.
There we go.
I removed the plague. I'm not dead.
Excellent. Okay, and then so Mo, we're tracking the hero points just by putting the little colored dots on. There we go.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I guess Volden doesn't really need one because he ain't here today. So, what happened last session, guys? There is a shiny new Nova point in it for whoever does the recap.
Okay, I'll go. We came up with a cunning plan, very much in Baldric style, to impersonate.
Well, let's back up and set the stage here first. So you guys were on Akiton, and what were you on Akiton for?
Oh, we are trying to find a young lady who is a friend of our patron, who is, he says, looking up.
Sedona or the...
Sedona,
yep.
And we are looking for...
Maria?
Marie.
Yeah.
And we actually thought she was in the big house of the boss who we're pretending to work for.
Yeah, so in when you guys came, you thought she was working for one of the bosses of this small town, but you found something very different when you arrived in the town of Ebbetsburg. Ebbetsburn, sorry. What'd you find when you came to Ebbetsburn?
Well, there are 2 competing gangs, and Marie is supposedly with one of the gangs, in the sort of head boss and his wife who run it. His wife is supposedly the power behind the throne. She is supposed to be in their big house where we're out in the sheds with the other mercenaries they've hired. We came up with a cunning plan to have someone disguise themselves as the boss's wife and interrogate one of the guards to bring out the Marie, and then we were going to make a run for it in our truck. unfortunately, when we actually successfully, surprisingly, impersonated her, apart from confusing the guard, we found that she had been, quote, taken by the Shobhads. So I think she may not be with either of the gangs, which was our initial thought. So we are now having to have a think about what we do next.
Yeah.
And hopefully the guard isn't too confused about seeing the boss's wife.
Does that sound about right,
where
guys?
we left it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the last to come back, we had Kat and Vuldan sitting in the... or no, Kat was actually listening in, because you were...
Yeah, I was sort of hiding up a tree or sneaking about.
Yeah,
and then,
so you were listening in.
It was Tom
and then,
that was...
Yeah, Tom was driving, and Vuldan was kind of running shotgun, or, laser carbine, whatever the Starfinder equivalent of shotgun is. So let's pick up the scene from there. So you guys come. It's evening. The hover truck is kind of like idling, and you see. I think the way we described it was that we first saw the Vozela, the wife of Okashog, walking down this path. She walked underneath the eave of a kind of like a big Acatonian cactus. Through the shadow, and then when what walked out was Zakros, back to his regular appearance, or his cowboy appearance at least. Mm-hmm. And let's pick up from there. So Zakros walks up to the truck, and you guys can't help but notice that Zakros has given up his illusion, or his disguise.
What's with the change in appearance?
I think we're ready to go, aren't we? Did we actually... That's when I impersonated the boss's wife, and I'm just walking back to the truck. Is that right? I don't know yet that Myri is with the Shobhads.
That's right, yeah. I think Kat told you over the comm.
Ah, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
I overheard it, didn't I?
Yeah.
After you left.
Yeah.
I say to Tom, there's no need to have my disguise on anymore. Myri's not here. She's with the Shobhads. So, actually, we have no more business here in this town.
Shit, that screws up our plans. Can you be more? Do you have any more specific information than just with like Shobhads? Do we know where or which group or?
I don't remember. There wasn't there a gang somewhere of Shobhads? I don't remember really. That was 4 weeks ago when that happened.
Well,
there was
turns up.
I believe there was one Shobhad who was sort of like a con who was trying to gather them all together, but I don't know how. I don't think we knew how coherent they were, or whether they were all at one spot yet. I think they're still tribal. Is that correct, Ken?
What you've heard, the sort of scuttlebutt when you were in Hive Market was, to be careful because the Shobhads have, they're not, they're not necessarily, the one thing you can depend on is where the Shobhads would attack. They are very warlike, and they're happy to attack caravans or lost travelers. They're also just as happy to attack each other. However, there's a name that's kind of rumored on the lips of Acatonians about this guy named Sushak, and Sushak is said to be the kind of a like con among cons amongst the Shobhads. That it's not if they were organized, like the settled communities in Akiton would definitely know about that, and it would probably get the attention of the aristocracy, the corporate agents, and the possibly the marshals as well too. Marshals, what are they called? Sky Wardens. The Wardens. I'm trying to remember what the name of the fucking organization is. It called the Wardens? Stewards.
Stewards.
Good lord. It's like I'm just running through my mental thesaurus. Guardians?
Yeah, well, I think the stewards would probably not get involved in local affairs unless it threatened off-worlders. But anyway, I presume the cat turns up shortly afterwards because
Yeah, so you come,
climbing down the tree and sort of come back.
You sneak your way back, so you're kind of like appearing out of nowhere.
So,
what do you guys think?
I mean, there's a possibility we've maybe blown our cover, or at least caused enough of a fuss that the guard will report seeing effectively another she who must be obeyed.
I don't know if we've necessarily blown it off. They might just
yeah,
pass it off.
but anyway, so taken by Shobhads was the comment.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that you do remember, Kat, and maybe Mo, you might not remember this, but one of the last things you heard is one of the guards shaking their head and saying something to the effect of "fucking drunk."
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I think we should stick around a bit longer so we can figure out where we're going instead of just knowing not here.
Well, taken by Shobhads implied there was some sort of raid or some sort of skirmish with them at some stage, and we should be able to maybe talk to some of the other mercs here who may be in here a bit longer. And they may have. Did you hear there was a fight with the Shobhads? Not the other gangs Shobhad, but other Shobhads. I think that might be worth trying.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
maybe not just leave immediately. I mean, the other way would be maybe a bit late tonight, but maybe stay around tomorrow, and then maybe in the evening go and talk to that bartender and see if he's heard any rumours of a Shobhad raid or Shobhads attacking one of the gangs. Because the sort of thing, I would imagine you couldn't really keep it quiet that easily. You might be able to keep quiet that someone's been taken or captured, but the fact that there was a fight and something happened, I think probably ought to be fairly common knowledge.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. I don't. They won't hold that
Why don't you guys each give me a perception roll? We'll see what you can remember about the state of the town itself.
Well, effectively, it's 2 armed camps, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, where's my...
Backro's nice. Excuse me.
There we go.
Not quite as good there. Tom?
There's these two gangs are fighting. They're a bunch of assholes. Even the ones you work on, they just want to beat on you.
You know, in fiction, you've been unconscious for the first couple of hours anyway. So, nice, Kat. Okay, so I think Tom, you're the one, or Zakros. Zakros, you're sort of thinking about what you've seen in town, right? And while there are, there's some scorching, from laser blasts or energy blasts. There's, some arcing from electrical weapons. There's bullet holes from kinetic weapons. What there isn't is, it doesn't look like this place was hit by a raid.
Mm-hmm.
The town. It doesn't look like the town was hit by a Shobhad raid or any other kind of raid for that matter. There isn't anything that you recall about, and I think maybe what you do is you ask some probing questions of Voldan. You're like, well, wouldn't we see, does this look to you like there's been a major armed conflict here? And Voldan's like, well, no.
So somebody from Okashok's group should know where the girl was brought to.
Well, we got the impression it wasn't them. It was the, I suppose, wild Shobhads, if you want to use that term, the natives.
Yeah, but she was prisoner with Okashok's group, and they
certainly implied they had her at one point.
Yeah.
Thomas, you're a smuggler, right? That's sort of your background?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Zakros, what is the, what's, kind of the most important asset a smuggler can have between missions?
Money.
Money's always helpful, but money doesn't help you do your job.
Okay.
How about on a smuggling ship? What's the most important part of a smuggling ship?
Like, what is it? Something to hide in?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you've got something of value and you're a bandit lord, what are you maybe going to do?
Oh, I wonder if they're hiding it with the Shobhads, or maybe they don't actually have it and it's a bluff, but an effective one.
Now put yourself, you're thinking of your, back on your smuggling career. Zakros, put
Maybe
yourself,
they have.
put yourself
maybe they have
in
to-
their shoes, right? In Okashog's shoes. If the only thing preventing the war from breaking out is you having the daughter, you know, would you keep her in the place that everyone knows, or might you be a little more clever and keep her somewhere hidden?
Yeah. Maybe they also have a secret tunnel leading somewhere.
What do you guys think?
The question is, who do we or how do we figure out where they're keeping her, or which Shobhad group has her, or really GPS coordinates, or the Starfinder equivalent.
Well, the difficulty is in the Akitonian wastes. There is times when there's disconnects with the infosphere. Right, that was part of the problem with not navigating across the waste the first time. The reason you guys ran into those awful bugs. So what do you? Well, first off, where are you guys going to head? You guys are sitting in your truck right now. What do you want to do?
Isn't it like evening or nighttime?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
I think maybe we go back and mingle with them and try and do some more searching or investigation. I mean, question is, if we left now, where would we go? Would we go to the other boss and say we've switched sides? I mean, that's the other option. But that might trigger a sort of general fight.
I don't know if that would help. I think we have to try and figure out where Marie is.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't we go to the Cantinana? Sorry, no, pub, and ask the barman some questions?
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. He seems
Because it's still like 9:30, 9 o'clock, so it's not like early hours of the morning.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, as is always the case in Akiton as well, too, when the sun goes down, it's very, very cold. You know, while it's been scorching hot during the day, it's down to close to 0 degrees Celsius. You know what? This is the first. I think this is the only game I've got where everyone is on the everyone's on the metric system or the Celsius.
Socially, I use Fahrenheit, even though.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah. Well, that's good. Like it's funny because we're officially a what do you call it? We don't use the imperial system, but all of our driver's licenses have it listed in feet and inches.
Okay.
So
Strange.
it's crazy. But
Actually, I have another question. We are on Akiton. Is the atmosphere thin or is it normal?
I think it's normal. I think because it was subject to terraforming, before the what do you call it? Well before the gap, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat breaking down, but yeah, it's not a thin atmosphere or anything.
I'll double check that though, just to be sure. But I don't think
Well,
so.
in the books it says it's thin.
Oh,
So
it does
this
say
is
it's
where-
thin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
So
you do
once
need a rebreather. Yeah.
Now we have our armor. Like I have a level 2 armor, so the life
Yeah.
support lasts for 2 days and then has to be recharged in 2 minutes, kind of.
Oh,
But
okay.
are there recharge stations available where you can?
I imagine there
recharge
is,
your
yeah.
batteries? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the area there. So let's see here. What is vacuum? Thin atmospheres tend to cause non-acclimated creature to have difficulty breathing and become extremely tired. Typical thin atmosphere requires a creature to succeed at a fortitude save every hour or become fatigued. The fatigue ends when the creature returns to a normal atmosphere. Severe thin atmospheres can cause long-term oxygen deprivation. So the only consequence of not wearing the rebreather is just that you're kind of out of breath. And the fatigue condition, you can't run or charge, take -1 to AC, attack rolls, melee damage, reflex saves, initiative check. Yeah, basically any physical actions you take a -1 penalty to. So, yeah,
they don't have the traveler style rebreather in the equipment list.
Well, I just activate my force field for my second skin, and then I'm sorted.
When the fatigue, that's like fatigue ends when you return to normal atmosphere. So you kind of like you can kind of take a breath, and then you can go an hour. And once you're out for an hour, you have to make a fatigue check. So it's really just a matter of like every hour or so, exposing yourself back in. But no.
I don't breathe, so or Tom doesn't. So
show off. I'm sure that those fine sand particulates are doing wonders for your cybernetics.
Sure, and it probably makes it harder for me to smoke with the thin atmosphere.
Well, I'd say, so funny thing, this is a non sequitur, this is just a little bit of nerd trivia, but apparently the sand on Mars is like incredibly coarse. Like, I mean, sand is just kind of broken down glass anyway, but it's apparently like it's so dangerous that like it can fucking kill you if you breathe it in and like shred your lungs kind of stuff. So like, well, being able to breathe on Mars isn't necessarily the only problem we're facing there. It's also the fact that it's full of fucking razor sharp sand. So it'll cause you to have emphysema so quickly. So that is not the case on Akiton, though.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's much better.
So what do we see you guys do then? Do we do you? I mean, I'm assuming you're going to park the truck, the hover truck.
Mm-hmm.
Get a chance to have a chat. Now, if you guys want to plan anything for what you're going to do, you've been kind of talking in this truck, and I think it's dawned on you that, oh shit, this is, like any guard could walk by or over here at any point. If you guys want to have a secret conversation, you're going to need to either make use of magical or psychic means, or you're going to have to kind of like, head out into that garbage yard again, and kind of talk, amongst the alleys there.
Well, I think we were going to go to the bar.
Head to the bar, okay?
We park the truck. I will take the easily replaceable part that I'm using to disable it.
Voldan has decided that he needs to do some thinking, and what you suspect is that he may have grown a taste for a certain close-up magician. So he is going to watch more of the Amazing Zip-Zop. So he heads in, and you can hear everyone kind of calls out in cheering when the Amazing Zip-Zop completes his most recent feat of extremely slow close-up magic. And then you, I gotta post that image into Discord as well too.
Yeah, I mean, actually. Slow motion close-up magic is actually really hard to do.
Yeah.
I went to the Magician's Circle a few years ago.
Oh,
one of their shows, and that's quite impressive when you see it literally across the table. But somewhat out of. So Voldan's occupied, and we're going to the pub.
Here, Mo, I don't know if where is it?
I mean, we could just drive the truck to the pub because obviously, if it's thin altitude, we don't probably want to walk anywhere. We don't have to.
They show you that, Mo?
Oh, I've seen the black and white one, but not the colorized one.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it to. Oh, it doesn't want to focus on this. Well, I'll post it between things. So anyway, the Amazing Zip-Zop is hard at work, or Voldan is watching the Amazing Zip-Zop with the rest of the crew. The three of you, do you want to grab anything before you head over, or do we just? The next thing that happens is we head over to the cantina.
No,
actually, I would like to suggest that before we go into the tavern, I cast telepathic message.
Sure.
That will last for half an hour, so we three can communicate telepathically. I can ask you something, you can reply, but no more than 10 words per round. So it takes a while, but we just pretend we watch the show of the amazing zips up, and we're actually discussing what we gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you do that? Before you head to the bar, you can get your plan in place using telepathic message. You know, and so you guys are sitting around. Let's have that conversation. What do you guys think? What are some possible courses of action here? What's information you need more of before you can make an informed decision as to where the hell Myri is?
I think we have somebody. I look at my black friend. Somebody has to sneak in there and see if there is a secret passage or something.
Yeah. Well, I think we might want to find out stuff. I certainly think asking the sheriff and the barman whether there's any rumors of secret passages. And also if they'd heard anything about a Shobhad raid.
Yeah, and then...
Or the Khan and his troops being closer than we thought they might be. Because I thought they were on the slopes of that mountain, the one that has religious significance, was the main area they were worried.
Brent, your ability to interface with a computer without a without a device, does that have a range, or is it a range of touch?
Let me just double check on that.
Yeah, I think it's touch. I think you'd reach out and sort of touch the terminal or the cable, or...
It makes sense to me. I'm just curious as to whether... Here we go.
Yeah. The pop-up.
Touching it, yeah. Yeah, it specifically says that. Okay. So... what I said, the way I described what your difficulties would have been for hacking last time is not right. I was misreading it. That's to change root access, to change like the core, how the program actually allows you to do things. Hacking a system is a lot easier. But the thing is that you hacking the system with firewalls like what this one would have does potentially leave you. It requires time. It'll be obvious. I think that you're doing it unless you succeed in like a, what is the skill I'm looking for here? Subterfuge or sleight of hand. You know what a smart person would do is print off a list of the skills. I am not a smart person. Where is it?
Would I need that because of the feet, or could I just like lean against a computer and make it?
That's the thing, Brent. Like what the role is to determine how inconspicuous you are. It's for sleight of hand.
Oh, okay.
Because like you're doing that in front of a, it's mounted on the wall, so the role will tell us how well you're touching the computer and interfacing with it without drawing attention from everyone.
All right, that is not my strong suit.
No, so but I mean, like so that is going to be a challenging thing for you. Sorry, Modus, give me 1 sec here. But that's not it's not a impossible task. Like say if you had someone helping you, to distract. Sorry, Mo, what were you going to say?
Well, are these wireless, or are they actually connected by a cable?
They are probably wireless.
Yeah, because I was thinking if it was just a cable, you could just like get at the cable and just hold that. But I thought we were going to the pub first and then try hacking or something else later. I mean, the other way would be for me to say try and burglarize the house and get into a terminal a bit close to the computer. Because if we can get into like the server room or wherever they keep them, there probably won't be people there at night. Obviously, if I screw it up and then we get caught, I've got to leave quickly. But I think if that fails, we have to leave, and we can't come back here. So I think maybe I'd like to quiz the sheriff and the barman. To see if we've heard rumors of hidden places. I mean, the sheriff might know that these gangs have got hiding places, but doesn't have the warrant to get into them, or doesn't feel politically powerful enough to raid them for their illicit.
You talk to Swab, the sheriff?
Love it. And then what after that, if that doesn't work out, I can try using my talent to be less obvious with maybe your assistance or... that in a combination of a distraction, and then I think that's the next least obvious approach.
Well, so we're going to try and break in via the terminal in the sheds where the mercs are.
Yeah, or just touch a computer or a cable or
Okay.
something that's nearby.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can just sort of touch it, and then we can engage all the others in conversation or something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what we can find out in the pub, I think.
What do you
And
think?
after the way I've been interacting with some of the others before, it shouldn't look too badly if all of a sudden I'm silent and less like talkative.
Okay.
So
Zachary,
that-
what do you think?
Yeah, I just go with the. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to question the barman first and the sheriff.
Well, yeah, because people do say things when they've had a few drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then, so you guys sit around watching the Amazing Zips Up for a short time, and then, a message is sent to Voldan. He'll keep watch here, make sure that nothing funny is going on with these guys. The three of you head up. You head out. The guard who's at the kind of the gate. You guys walk up, and it's another Hilky, ruffian who's standing there, red skin. He kind of looks at you guys and says, "Where are you going?"
Get a drink.
He kind of looks you up and down. Pulls the gate open, opens it up, and lets you guys through. You get the sense that this is someone who may have seen you guys when you came in. So that's why he's giving you no guff here. So... Nice. Well, Brent's actually climbed Kilimanjaro, so he will have some direct insight into this.
I get really bad altitude sickness more than most people. I have so I take there's pills that you can take to deal with altitude sickness. The unpleasant side effects that if you get bad altitude sickness, it's not just the lightheaded, it's vomiting and diarrhea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
why
like
I was infected.
stroke and death.
There were some people who were, had to pause on their summiting. So
yeah.
I imagine that's not something any of us our characters want to have to deal with.
You guys can bring space diapers.
Especially since a lot of people are in full environmental armor. I have to get out of this armor quick.
Yeah. Okay. So then, you guys, we see you guys head down the street. What happens as you guys walk into the bar? So those swinging doors kind of.
Does it all go quiet like it does?
Yeah, I buy
This
that.
isn't the slaughtered.
So you guys walk in, everyone kind of,
sort of thing.
looks over at you. The what do you call it? The droid that's playing the space, piano, kind of like, ooh, stops. And then you guys walk in, and the music starts up again. There's like maybe like 5 people in here, and again, it's I think like 3 of those are those old farmers, those old Hilky farmers that you saw from before. One of them is actually Sheriff Dwab, who's sitting in the corner, kind of sulking. And then at the bar, there is some other Hilky guy who you have not met yet. And then behind the bar, of course, is Viata, the Yasaki barkeep. So he, he's leaning on the bar and he's talking to this Hilky that you don't know yet or you haven't seen before. And this Hilky has a full beard. He's got like longer hair. He looks like certainly doesn't look like a ruffian. He looks more closer to like a merchant or a businessman of some kind. Like small business, not like, fancy clothes or whatever. He's not a corporate executive by any means. So you guys walk in, and the what do you call it? Viata looks at you guys and says, "Well, your rooms are upstairs, boys."
So,
I could use a drink.
Yeah, what's up with the sheriff? Why is he so down?
So you guys join him at the bar, and you each take a seat. And he's like, "Aye, Sulkin. He's sad about not getting the money from you."
Aw.
How's life as a killer? He pours the drinks for you guys.
I didn't kill anyone.
Yet.
Recently. So
far,
and I'll get the barman
Did
a
I?
drink and
Hang on.
tell him to send one to the sheriff as a consolation prize.
What were you saying, Tom?
No, I was thinking, oh yes, I did kill someone.
Yeah, you super killed someone.
Yeah. It's alright.
So what,
why
getting
don't
what?
you give me 2 glasses of your best drink, and for me and my sheriff friend here, and we have a little talk.
Oh, Dwarf's your friend now, is he?
No.
He gets down. And he pours drinks.
You're our friend, aren't you?
Yeah, you are our friend. That's right.
I'm not friends with killers, but I'll take your money for your rooms. And he pours the drinks and sort of slides them towards you guys.
Fair enough.
Are we celebrating something?
Yeah, we
it's,
have
it's
to
after
cheer
Sunday.
up the sheriff.
Why do you have to cheer that fool up? If you want to cheer him up, pay him the commission he would have got from Okashog. And sorry, Mo, you were saying something?
No, I said, well, it's sun's over the yardarm, so we'll have a drink.
Get any extra drinks, though.
Yeah.
I go over to the sheriff with the 2 drinks.
Okay.
And what's his name again? The sheriff's name?
Dwab.
Dwarf. Okay. I say, hey, Dwarf, what's up? Here, have a drink.
So he's sort of like slouched really, really low in the chair, and he's got a beer sitting on his chest, and he kind of just, his hat's turned forward. He's got this like look on his face. That drink is half drunk.
Oh, okay.
So you walk up, and he looks up and sees you under the hat. Oh, you. What are you back to gloat that you cut me out? Bet you thought it was funny to have me running along beside your car. Oh, everyone wants to laugh at Dwap. Takes a drink and puts it on the table. What are you gonna do?
I'll have a look at the bars, see if anyone's watching this conversation.
I'd
Sure.
just like to talk to the Yosoki.
What's your perception bonus there, Cat?
It is.
I think it's quite.
I'll get it off the track sheet.
Oh, you know what? Hold up. I can just look at your last roll.
9.
Yeah. Okay. So you keep a close eye on the rest of the bar, and it doesn't appear that anyone is is kind of trying to listen in on this conversation. So Zachros, you're standing above the above Dwab, Sheriff Dwab, and he isn't making any indication to move. He's still sprawled out in the chair, sulking. You put the drink in front of him, and he kind of looks up at you, angrily takes it, and then starts sipping at it. Still makes no effort to try and sit up.
All right. I sit down beside him.
Okay.
And say, what if I have some information for you to cheer you a bit up? You see, I'm interested that this town gets into a proper order, under a proper rulership. See, it was your own decision to try to convince us to work for you. But we might found something out.
He looks at you. Found something out.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's worth something to somebody.
Yes, indeed.
He kind of suddenly sits up and he leans into the table. What'd you find out? You haven't told anyone else, have you?
No, we didn't. So I have your interest. All right. So first I try to get some information out of him. Yeah, before I give him a piece of information.
Okay.
How
What is
could I do this?
what's your diplomacy bonus?
7.
7. Okay. So go ahead. I'm gonna just roleplay accordingly.
Okay. Do you mean I don't have to roll now? Just
No, I rolled for you because I don't want you to know
you
whether.
rolled for me.
Yeah. I don't want you to know whether how you did or not.
see. Yeah, I try to get some information out of him. First, I want to know if he knows if there were more Shobhads in town.
Sure. So
or
what do you say?
recently, Or nearly, or around the town recently.
Okay. Well, what do you say?
Yeah, that's actually my question. Were there any more Shobhads recently around the town, running around or sighted? Yeah, was there? I don't know.
Other Shobhads? You mean other?
Yeah, are there more Shobhads around the town than the one from Zadok?
No, the other Shobhads, other than Zukra?
Yeah.
No. Why are there? Do you know? Are they looking for work? If we're gonna have to split a commission, you and me, we'll have to split the commission.
It looks like Okashok has also some Shobhad contacts.
He's hired some Shobhads. And no one got the commission. He slugs the drink back, and he says, "I'll have another." And the Yasaki yells back, "You'll get it yourself." And he
Here you have one from me.
all right.
And I.
So
push
how
over the
is this
glass.
news supposed to cheer me up? You telling me that he's hired Shobhads now too, and I didn't get those commissions? Are you coming to gloat? This is a display of your riches? I get it. I get it. Dwab's always the joke. Dwab's always the clown.
What if I would tell you? What if I would tell you that Myri is not in the town?
And kind of leans in even closer to you. What do you mean Myrie's not in the town?
Yeah. What if she isn't here at all, and Zadok actually could ambush Okashok without being afraid that something is gonna happen to his daughter?
Wait, did you? He kind of gives an up and down. I may have misjudged you, son. Are you telling me that you went in there just to save Myri? To allow Zadok to attack? Have you been in the employ of Zadok this whole time?
No. I have other interests.
Other interests? So do you have Myri or not?
No, I don't.
You're sure you don't have Myri?
Definitely.
Do you know where she is?
Not yet.
But you're going to.
I try to find out where she is.
Now, I hope you appreciate that presenting that kind of information requires a very delicate touch. You can't just walk into Zadok and say, "I've got Myri." I mean, he might take that to be a threat of some kind. You're going to need the assistance of someone who knows the lay of the land to properly present that to Zadok.
I trust you will be the right person for this job.
Oh. You can be sure about that. And he, boom, slugs the drink back and he puts it down. He says, "I'll have another." And once again, Viati says, "Get your own!" He kind of scowls at the Yasaki and looks back at you. "So, when do you expect to find out?"
Soon, I guess.
Soon. How soon is soon? Is soon tomorrow? Is soon next week? We gotta set things up in the right way. You understand?
Of course. So, give me a second. I have to talk to my friends.
To find out how soon.
Yes. I go to JT.
Well, let's just cut. We'll see.
Right.
We'll leave a scene with you getting up and to make your way over. Unless Brent said he wanted to talk to Viati, so let's give him a chance to do that. So Zakros has gone over to talk to the sheriff, to Sheriff Dwab. Kat is kind of eyeing the bar and looking around. Hey, Ingolf is in chat. Ingolf, why aren't you in the game?
Nice.
Maybe he's back from his family thing earlier. Yes, we're in desperate need of a captain. The wheels are coming off. The hover wheels are coming off this cart. Oh, and Hobbs is in chat too. Hey, Hobbs, and Mr. L's in chat. Howdy. Tom, the android. Cat's kind of keeping an eye on the crowd. You lean in. What do you say?
Well, I just sort of stare at him, drinking my drink, and go, so yeah, we're new here to this planet. I hear there's a bunch of something about Shobhads or organizing or something. You know anything about that, or they pose a danger?
He looks at you and kind of, who are you again? I thought you were a bounty.
I am. But I'm new to Akaton and just wanting to get to know the lay of the land.
Will you need to know it? He kind of looks over at Cat. I thought you were turning him into the sheriff.
Not this sheriff, but the restraining bolt will hold him, so there's no need to be unnecessarily cruel.
All right.
Trying to make...
And we've got to make sure we're not going to get ambushed by a horde of Shobhads when we try and take him in.
Oh, I see. You're awful chatty for a man bound for the noose.
Gotta do something to pass the time.
Huh? Fair that. He lifts up his drink and takes a sip. Clinks your glass, takes a sip.
Tell me about Akaton.
Sure. What is your diplomacy, Brent? Well, Tom the android, not Eunice.
Tom the android is a whole +1. So
a whole +1. Okay. So actually, you know what? For whatever reason, you're kind of obnoxious. Just like, so what's going on? It actually goes over with him. He sees that as a,
I'm not adding anything. Just pure direct.
He's like, all right, well, yeah. I mean, basically, what he reiterates is what what you've heard from, or what I kind of did as the info dump before, that there is apparently this, Shobhads seem to be more of a problem right now. I mean, the combination part of the problem in Ebbotsburn right now is that there's the problem between the two gangs, and that's bad for business for everybody. And there's the fact that these Shobhads seem to be, there's a field like. He calls it the Starfall Field. And why don't you give me a culture? You're trained in culture, right, Brent? Or Tom, the android?
Culture check?
Well, are you trained in culture? You've got some...
Yes, I am.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a culture check. You guys may have a captain in a moment here. Ingolf just got home. That is not great. You want to spend a Nova point?
The amazing Zip Zap show is nearly over.
The big, very slow finale.
The last time I used a Nova point, I followed up a natural 1 with a natural 1, so see if I can do better this time.
Okay, here we go. You've taunted fate. Hey! That's pretty fucking good.
Hey, look, I doubled it.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, what Tom, is that from before the gap, there's parts of Akiton that are just covered in crashed starships, and it's not quite. I mean, it's expected that maybe it is part of there was some kind of in orbit conflict at some point, but it's left that there are parts of Akiton that are just strewn with these ancient ruins from starships, and if I think with a roll that good, you actually you probably when you were kind of trying to figure out how to get to Ebbotsburn in the first place, you knew that there was this one basically field of wrecks. I'm picturing it kind of, like the images you see of those giant rusted ships that are sort of washed up on African shores. Imagine that, but sprawling spaceships that have been shattered and broken. And well, I guess what's that? The planet from the start of Force Awakens, Jakku. Yeah, with the crash.
Oh yeah, so very much like that. Yeah,
very much like that.
That's a planet, isn't it?
Yeah. So what he's telling you is that they've been seen kind of lurking around there, it seems, as well. Let me paste a link to the hangout again. Look at that, you guys got your captain.
So are they a danger to town? Have they gotten near here, or they're still staying away?
Nah, they're not interested in coming to town. So I'm not doing my Yasaki voice. They're not interested in coming to town. They ain't. At least they haven't so far. Though, they organize under that, Sushak. Who knows? Hey, Ingolf!
Hello.
Vuldan's in the house. The Vuldan suddenly walks into the bar. It's the start of a joke. Vesk walks into a bar. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he tells you that it's the same kind of rumors that you heard before. Maybe that's where we'll have Zachros. You've just finished talking to Mayor or Sheriff Dwab. You get up and start making your way back, and you see Vuldan comes in, and he's got a very, very satisfied look on his face because you see Ingolf. Vuldan has just finished watching an entire performance by the amazing Zipzop.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So maybe he's walking in and he's trying to fumble with a card, but he's not really, he's not able to get it to disappear whatsoever. He's just like, what? What? And you can see that your crew is in here. We see on your left, you've got Kat and Tom, the android, sitting, talking to Yasaki, and sitting next to Kat is a Hilki guy that you haven't seen, the red skin, full big black beard with a lot of gray in it, hair kind of combed back, a really pronounced forehead. And on your right, you can see that Zachros is just walking away from a table where the only occupant is Sheriff Dwab. And let's see here, what's your perception bonus again there, Vuldan?
1.
So you can tell, I think, even though you're not, you've been clearly distracted by your efforts at close-up magic, you can see the look on Dwab's face can only be described as like a combination of smug and greedy. Because he just looks like whatever Zachros said to him, it seems to be really... in keeping with the sort of saloon theme, this guy has absolutely no poker face. So you can tell whatever he wants is read all over his face. So that's what you walk into, Vuldan, and maybe Zachros, you're walking up and you see your captain walk in. What do you say? Zachros, you see your captain walk in as you're heading your way back to the bar.
Yeah, since he's the nearest, I pass. I say, Vuldan, it seems that Dwarf doesn't know anything about any other Shobhads here around, and I just told him that Okashok doesn't have the woman, so I hope maybe Zadok is going to attack him. So my plan is maybe we get a diversion. They're occupied with each other, and we can maybe sneak into his hideout and see if there is a hidden tunnel that leads somewhere.
And I'll use the telepathic communication as well. As I might have a lead on where they might be holding Myri. There is a field of wrecks not too far, and there's been an increased Shobhad presence there. So there's a possibility that might be where they're holding her.
Is that far away from here?
When I was talking about whether the town was in any danger from the Shobhad attacking, I'll sort of ask to reference the distance from that.
Sure.
Where they're all sort of gathering.
So going on what we said before and your good culture roll, I think it's probably about like maybe a 2-hour drive, which is not terribly... Well, that's not true. Let's say it's about an hour and a half drive from where you guys are. Okay. Using your hover truck.
So we might not need to look for a hidden tunnel or something?
So
no,
I guess
maybe we'll turn out lucky. All I have is a location where there's a large group is.
Zachros, you're trained in culture as well, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a culture roll, please?
Right. I spend a Nova point.
Okay. We've been playing for an hour. Everyone gets a Nova point as well, too. So you should, Ingolf, you get, we'll start you off with 1 now as well.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, I spend it and I got 1. Okay,
Whoa, nice. Look at that.
I just changed the color then.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the, wow, so Zakros, you know what? Here's what you know about your smuggling background. Yeah, having been, because you've mentioned that you've got some kind of connection to Akiton as well. Those starfields are incredibly popular smuggling hideouts. Like the not necessarily this particular one, but these types of areas, because in some cases they're, you know, when those ships fell to Earth, they were completely annihilated because they fell all the way from orbit, or they disintegrated in the atmosphere. But in some cases, these were like, the efforts were made to try and like have safe crash landings. So there's tons of these wrecks that are out there with intact hulls. What a really attractive hiding spot, particularly given how these things can be rife with unquiet dead. This is by no means like a little slice of Eox, but it's still definitely, you know, the dead don't rest quiet from whatever that conflict was. So if you were to pick a hiding spot, boy, that'd be a good spot to hide stuff.
Road trip.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
we go
interesting.
for a ride.
Yeah.
I'll
Roland
talk to the
just
guy
makes
next to
it-
me, saying,
Yeah.
have you seen any of the Shobhad tribes getting
Can you hear me?
grouped together?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So it's not a question of audio. Okay.
Yeah, and we can hear you, and I can see you in roll 20.
Okay.
Okay. What's your diplomacy bonus?
9. Oh, hang on, diplomacy.
Oh, you know what, guys? Also, while I'm thinking of it, if you
4.
could, between now and next session, if you could send me what you've changed about your characters from the last update, I'll update your characters all on Hero Lab, and then I'll print out copies so I can stop asking you guys, and I'll send you guys PDFs of your characters. So, because I think you all hit 4th level, and I haven't updated the character sheets in Hero
no,
Lab.
we
still
didn't.
second.
We're still third level.
Third level.
Oh, you guys are 3rd level. Boy, I'm
Yeah.
so
I thought we
generous.
were-
You want us to level to 4.
You guys really should have gone with it. That was
second.
your opportunity. Gaslight the DM. Yeah, we're 4th level, Kev. I don't know what you...
Yeah.
I think we're still
If
second.
you want us to be 4th level, we can be 4th level.
Yeah, I mean, we're still second on the system.
Yeah, so I think what we'll do is, if you guys send me
No,
what your...
we are on third. It's
3rd
just
level, okay.
This,
So change
Yeah.
this timey-wimey
Okay.
stuff.
time you... Yeah. Let me see, because in Hero Lab, I'm fairly certain I've got you guys still as 2nd level. So if you send me the choices you made for 3rd level, not right now, but like just between now and 2 weeks from now, I'll update them in Hero Lab and I'll get them to you. And then also that way I've got all your stats. I can quit asking you guys each time.
Oh, right, sorry, yes, we are third, aren't we? Yes.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay. So what are you guys... Zakros has filled in Captain Voldan.
I think the captain wanted to ask something.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Voldan.
No, I don't want. I was just wanted to do a thing which is called role playing, saying that
Yeah.
my character looks really confused because the last time there was all this stealth thing, and now I'm just had this amazing show, and now we are doing the total opposite. It's confusing, yeah.
Okay.
But you guys know what you're doing. I'm fine with it.
So if you sit down, I mean, we've got 2 characters who have the ability to send telepathic messages. You guys can feel free to do that. Although if either of you casts the spell in here, I think that Viadi says, hey, none of that in here. I don't want any trouble.
No. If somebody like Brent
I thought
wants
we were
to do
using
this,
Vesk as our private
And-
language.
Yeah, you could
Why
just
not?
talk.
Yeah.
What were you trying to say, Thomas?
no. Brent, do you have a special ability you don't have to shake your hands or whatever to cast a spell?
Only for when dealing with robots or machines, but to
Alright.
talk to organics, I have to do
So
the
it's just a cantrip then as well, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I've got the feat ability for that I took, which allows me to
Yeah.
do the same thing to robots, but I don't think then I have to. Then it's not a spell, so I don't have to move my arms.
Okay. So, Voldan, you have a seat, and I guess just to quickly bring you up to speed, what's happened, the guys have talked about what the consequence of knowing that Myri is not here, and that apparently she's been taken by Shobhads, or at least that's what the guys think. Zakros has also been sort of thinking about his past as a smuggler, and has come up with, you know what, maybe she was never here. Maybe she wasn't here. She was being hidden somewhere. Maybe through a secret tunnel, maybe through a secret location. And there was some thought about whether Okashog was in league with the Shobhads as well. But it seems like these guys don't seem to know an awful lot about the Shobhads. Or at least about these ones. So, what are you guys doing next?
Road trip.
Yeah, I think we...
I just need snacks.
I was going to just talk to the Hilky next to me.
Sure.
Sort of saying, well, he's been asking the barman. You look like you've been out in the desert. Have you seen any large groups of Shobhads organising? We heard rumours about that when we left the High Court.
So this guy kind of looks at you. He gives you the up and down. This character is, in the film version of our campaign, is played by Hugo Weaving. So he looked, Elrond, and so he looks you up and down and says, "Is that what passes for small talk? Where you're from?" And he looks back at his drink and takes a sip and goes, just ignoring you, waiting to talk to Viadi again.
So he's a Hilky, isn't he? So he isn't actually an elf.
No, he's a Hilky, so he's got red skin. Basically, you picture like Hugo Weaving with a full beard and that crazy widow's peak of his, but his hair's kind of brushed back, dressed in drab kind of businessman attire.
Agent Smith.
No, not a suit. He's a merchant.
Okay.
Yeah, but yes, that's the same actor. He says, "You seem awfully interested in Shobhads. Are you intending on hunting them?"
Well, we have to take our bounty, and I'll clap Tom on the shoulder back to town, and we wouldn't want to get ambushed on the way. We met some rather unpleasant bugs on the way here, so we'd rather avoid any entanglements. And obviously, this town isn't very defensible. If they came over the hill, it would be every man for himself.
So
Tom was very tempted to reply and then sort of maybe smile slightly, but doesn't say anything. When they asked whether they're planning to hunt Shobhads, and he was going to reply, "Why do they taste well?" But
well, the guy's not even he's not even turning towards you. He's still looking forward as he's talking. He just sort of said that you seem interested in hunting Shobhads, and then Kat gave this really long-winded answer, and he just sits and takes a drink from his drink in front of him, or his snifter in front of him. "You talk an awful lot for a dark elf. I thought your kind was more
evil,
reserved,
sacrificing people."
And he looks at you quiet. And he looks back at his drink and has a sip again. If you
do a culture check, are drow meant to be super reserved, or they've never really said
I think he's just telling you to shut the fuck up. He's in here having a quiet drink, and you're talking to him.
I think he wants to get tortured from you and to get the information.
He also, you may have
the information.
You may not have rolled terribly well. One sec, guys.
You want my,
hold on. You may not have rolled terribly well on your diplomacy roll either. So there is that.
All right.
So does he look like a fighter at all?
No.
I mean, that guy, that Hilky guy.
No. No.
So.
What he says, as Kat, you kind of stop and you're trying to think about this. In answer to your question about whether they're quiet, I don't think he'd know one way or the other. It's unlikely that a small town merchant, and I mean small town is being generous with Ebbotsburn, it's a village merchant, would know anything about that whatsoever. So he may not have any frame of reference. He's just, telling you to shut the fuck up at the bar. Just drink your drink.
Yeah.
What he does say, though, is I wouldn't concern yourself with whether the Shobhads want your bounty. I'd concern yourself whether they want to take everything from you. And he takes a sip again. Have you ever faced a Shobhad, Dark Elf?
I've had a fight with a Kasathan a while back on Absalom, but...
Well then, take what you had with the experience with a Kasathan. Add 6 feet in height. Add 300 pounds of muscle and fang. And multiply their number by approximately 20. That'll give you some approximation of what to expect from the Shobhads. He takes another sip.
I think I'll cut my losses and take a sip of my drink. And after a while, I'll say to the others in Vesk, I think we need to check out this ship graveyard as a possible next move.
So, Tom reads the map.
Road trip.
So, Voldan, this is out of game. Our hypothesis is that they're hiding Marie somewhere else, not in the house.
Do you really think they still have her? Or she probably escaped, or she was never there?
I don't think we know.
Okay.
So between the two culture checks, what I can tell you guys is that one unfortunate part of life in Akiton, at least the rougher parts of it, is that a slave trade is thriving here. I mean, this is unfortunately there are parts of Akiton completely, foreign to wider kind of Pact World culture. So there is value in some living beings.
Yeah. Okay. So
presumably, I might know something about that with my background. I did a culture check.
Did you do a culture check?
No, I haven't. But
no, I know that Tom.
Given the drow sort of.
Yeah, but I mean that's a different place, though, right? What I'm saying is that like the Zakros and Tom, you would know about slavery absolutely in Apostate, but Apostate is also another one of those places that sort of it's a black hole as far as the rest of the Pact Worlds are concerned.
Okay, so what does everyone think about going to the ship's graveyard tonight?
I think the Hilti was right. We have done enough talking. We should go.
Agreed. And I'll finish my drink.
Okay. Anything else happen in the bar before you guys leave?
I pick up the card to the ground because I want to practice that close-up magic again.
You got your... It's eluding you. How does he do it? Okay.
You're going to have to buy one of those mnemonic editors to like retrain your...
So, what, if you guys have nothing else in the bar, then I suppose we see you
Thomas,
pay up.
So, Zakros or Thomas, you said...
Yeah, I wanted to pass the Hilki sheriff and say, you do what you have to do. I see you soon.
He says, you got it, you got it. He tries to do an awkward kind of finger pistols thing.
Yeah.
He says like, I'll have another. And you can hear as you guys are leaving, get it yourself.
I'll chuck a couple of creds on the bar so he can have another drink.
Okay, so
hopefully,
you
if he has
them
too
over.
many, he'll have too much to do anything dangerous.
Yeah. So you transfer the credits over, and Viati says, don't encourage him, and he puts the drink down and puts a glass down, pours some drinks for him, and come and get it. As you guys are heading out into the streets. So you guys leave the streets. When you get out, what you can see at the far end of the straight to the where Zadok's kind of forces are or his territory begins. You can see that one of Zadok's sons is waiting outside too, and standing behind him is Zukra, that big Shobad.
Shobhad.
And the Shobad is just standing, there with like both sets of arms crossed, staring at you guys. And the son is there with he's got a set of like electro binoculars, and he's looking, and then he notices that you guys kind of look over towards him. He sees it, through the binoculars, and you see him kind of go.
So I wave back.
Yeah, I wave back too.
Yeah.
You see the Shobad then both sets of arms go on his hips, and he kind of like takes a posture, an intimidating posture, and he towers again like he's twice the height of what this smaller Helki man is. You turn and make your way back towards the towards Okashog's camp. So you the guard lets you guys back
we took
in.
The truck. Didn't we take the truck when we drove here?
Did you? That would have been
we were driving to avoid altitude sickness.
Well, I mean, like it's only once an hour, and then, like as you said, like you just need to kind of take a breath and to do that.
Okay, yeah, I kind of thought we'd driven it.
No, the reason being is because like if you're taking the truck out in the middle of the night, that would have been more of an ordeal.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Right, like it would have been. That's something you have to look forward to now. Is explaining why you're taking the truck out in the middle of the evening. So, you guys get back. Unless I'm assuming you kind of are you bringing your gear with you then as well, or?
I have my gear with me all the time.
I just got a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think my trusty hammer is with me.
It's hilarious. Like really, the funniest thing about adventurers is like you reflect on your life. Imagine trying to pick up all of your life and move it around. I'd have a hard time moving like a 20th of the shit in my office. Never mind.
Yeah, but look at my equipment.
Yeah. So you guys, you make your way back, and what happens now? Do you go to get the vehicle immediately? Do you head back into the barracks? What?
We could go tomorrow, and just say we're going out to scout the country.
Just to make sure. So we just told someone else that we are not working for Okashak anymore. Now we are going back to Okashak and wait there.
Yeah, I think we leave fairly quickly. Actually,
Yeah.
thinking about it.
I mean, the minute they talk to the sheriff,
Okay, that's
Gonna
maybe why we
go-
should have taken the truck with us.
Okay. Zachros and Tom the android. As you guys are going in, you can tell, as you're walking along, you can tell, because you rolled really fucking well on your perception rolls, you are being watched. So you guys are getting in, you're talking about where you're going to go, and Zachros and Tom, you can see that there is someone back up on the main house there. You can see that there's someone standing on the porch. You can tell it's a man from the size of the guy. His features are obscured, but from the waist down, you can recognize the combat fatigues, the Akatonian combat fatigues of Zamni. That's that big, hilky guy who is played by Dave Bautista in our film version of it. Big, stocky guy. He seems to be looking down. You can see a cloud of smoke come out of the darkness. He's smoking some kind of, cactus weed smoke or cigarette or something. You're the only two who notice that you're being observed.
I guess our telepathic thing is enough, so I'll just quietly mention that in Vesk.
What do you say?
I think we're being watched.
By whom?
One of the guys, I'll tell you guys in a second once we're out of sight. But
Zamni.
I want.
No.
Yeah. And
They don't seem to be. I don't know if we might have done something that has altered their, given them pause to in their trust for us, such as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get the truck and go.
okay. So you guys head back to where the vehicles are parked.
Invest.
You fire up the truck and you start heading it towards the towards the main gate. As you get close to the main gate, you can see walking along with this big kind of combat rifle, kind of resting on his shoulder, big sidearm at his waist. It's Zamni, along with two other guys, and he kind of waves at you guys as you are driving towards him. They're not blocking your route right now. He's just sort of gesturing for you to stop. And who's driving right now? Is it Kat or is it Tom the android?
Should we go with the seating we've got down there? Or yeah, I think both Tom and I are fairly good pilots.
Okay.
I think you're you're better, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
Yeah,
hang out in the driver's bench.
So he gestures for you to stop. Do you guys stop?
I look to Voldan.
Yeah.
Sure, why
Just-
not?
Tell him that
Okay,
we heard from the sheriff that we are going to be attacked or something. Just make up something. Come on.
Well,
Okay.
just say. Well, we don't even have to see it. Just see what he wants. Let him do the talking.
Okay. That's about as much time as you have to talk, guys. So what do you stop then?
I slowed down to effectively a slow crawl, so we can just say hi. What do you want out the window?
Okay.
Don't come to a full
As
stop.
he
put the
he
parking
seems to
brake
be
on.
he's gesturing for you to stop.
Okay, I'll slow down, but keep my foot on the accelerator, ready for a quick getaway.
Okay. Well, are you stopping or not? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a binary option here. But Kev, we're 4th level. Wait, are you?
Forward, reverse, forward, reverse.
Yes. Hi. I don't know why it's doing this. Out of my control.
Yeah.
Okay. So you, the vehicle comes to a stop, and he does, he's adopting the persona of, every, southern states, police or highway patrolman. He stops, and he's tapping his foot, and he kind of taps the, leans, overly casually on the side of your, side of the vehicle. He says, "Late night for a drive, boys. I thought you got back from the bar already. The drinks with the rest of them, that wasn't good enough for you?"
We thought we just got on our own.
Yeah, we thought we'd do a bit of scouting and see if we can see if any sign of these Hilki that's supposed to be around. We thought we'd do a bit of a recce for you.
You're doing a bit of a recce for the Hilki.
No, for you. I mean, well, and the people in the village, because obviously, if we're all attacked, we're going to hang together, not separately.
Honestly, I'm just out for a drive.
Ignore the bounty. He's just they're not very. He doesn't get out much.
I thought we were.
He's wanted for accountancy fraud.
I thought we were clear. He's talking to you, Voldan, about how things work here. Vozela tells you to do something. What happens?
Yeah.
You're not.
You go out of the way, or we will see what happens. Just about now. And
Okay.
I'm trying
gonna
to intimidate him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check. I mean, this guy's a pretty hardened. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Come on.
I'll say to Volden, you want me to hit it?
Yes. But I will just.
Are you guys going to try and break out?
Well,
wait
why
a
don't we
minute.
Hold on, everyone else. This is.
Was that yes that I floor the throttle?
Hang on.
Or were you just?
So just.
Okay, guys, hold on.
like
Let's
to-
just stop for a second. You're not going to have time to discuss this.
No. I don't
So-
want to discuss. I just want to spend a Nova point and re-roll that. roll.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the only
Okay.
thing I want to do. Yeah, and that's my roll. So
Okay.
22.
So you say that, and he says, perhaps, unless Kat, are you hitting the accelerator?
Well, no, I've said to Bolden quickly, shall I floor it in Vesk?
Okay.
And I'm sort of waiting for the because obviously I can see what Bolden's doing, so I'm
Yeah.
going to literally, I've got my foot ready to go.
Okay.
If he says hit it.
So the
You're wearing sunglasses, of course.
so yeah,
Well,
the Zamni looks at you and Voldan, and he's locked eyes with you, and you're not really, you're a pretty tough hombre, but it's not really causing him to back down. And he says, maybe we misunderstood.
Can I do something now?
Of course, yeah.
Because before this situation now escalates, I say to JT, when I finish, hit the pedal, and I cast command, and I command the Hilki to flee.
Okay, give me a let's see here. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so DC 14 will save. Excellent. It's only one target, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, hold on here. There we go. Man, I love how easy it is to improvise shit in Starfinder. Like, to just look up stats for things. It's the game is really, really good for that. Okay. I mean, like, who would have thought that I'd be able to look up a purple worm and just have the stats for it right here? I mean...
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yes. Okay, let's check here. Let's check. He turns and starts running, and then Kat, you do what?
I do what Bolden said, and I floor the throttle.
Actually, that's what Zachros said, not full time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
All right. So, guys, let's take our...
And presumably we burst through the gate.
No,
Is there a
what we're
closed
going to
gate, or
do
is
is
it
we're going to take our mid-session break, refresh our beverages, and we're going to come back and see what's happening.
Yeah,
So
do
we're
I
back.
have this time to say we've got
Let's see
a
here.
six-pack of beer and...
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so
Half a
we...
pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
let me
but-
put our... where is our music right now? Let's put this down a bit, and we'll put on our intermission music. There we go.
I'm sure there's some great Monty Python thing.
So I'm gonna go. I just want to add one track here, guys, as well. All right. Check something here.
All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, got what I need. I'll be right back as well.
to think of a nickname for you, for your character, JT. I have one for
Because
Buldan.
his name is so long and you can't pronounce JT or cat.
That's right. No, I liked the last session when somebody called you Mr. Vesk. So that's my nickname for you anyway.
Yeah, let's see where this takes us. It's a weird situation in a way. Yeah. Okay. I just read Princess of Mars, and there's a certain similarity. I mean, it's not. Surprising, I'd say.
There's a very John Carter sort of vibe to Akathon in places.
Yeah, I mean the Shobhads, they are.
Oh yeah.
They are basically the Green Martians, aren't they?
Princess of Mars?
Yeah, a prince. Yeah.
I can't remember which one that was. I think that's the
That's
second
the first.
or third.
No, that's the first one, I suppose.
Is
Oh,
there
that
really
was John Carter?
Yeah.
I have read them all when I was younger.
That's a really bad movie, is there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad, but if you've read Otherland by Tad Williams, that's all about virtual reality, and there is like his spoof on that sort of Edgar Rice Burroughs and sort of Biggles type chaps from the Empire going out and pacifying Mars. Very, very steampunky.
Yeah. Yeah, I played a bit of Space 1889. It's a nice game, but when I wanted to start a campaign, there was no one willing, so I never played it.
I've got the Savage Worlds book for that.
Yeah, Red Sands or something like that.
Yeah. Because our group, we were quite into that, and we were going to do a time-traveling Savage Worlds at one point. But unfortunately, the guy who wanted to DM it is now a school teacher, so he's got less free time.
All right. Turn our music down. Let's see if I got the right track I wanted for Chase here. That sounds all right.
It has a Planet of the Apes vibe.
Yeah, totally. A Tim Burton one. Yeah. I have become completely enamored of the Roll20 jukebox in the last little while. Now that we can actually include it with the stream, I love it. Okay. All right. While we're stalling, I'm going to look up quickly. Chase stuff. It's not on the schedule yet, but you know what I would really love as the next sourcebook for Starfinder is a GM's guide. Something with optional rules and stuff like that. Sort of a halfway point between like Pathfinder Unchained and what the Game Mastery Guide is like.
So, but Pathfinder Unchained was a little bit like Pathfinder 1.5.
Totally, yeah. Well, I listened to the video that Paizo put out about the second edition Game Mastery Guide, and that's what it seems like. It's like half are 3/4 the what do you call it? Like what was in the original game mastery guide with optional rules and stuff like that. But it's also partly like Unchained, where it's like if you want to hack your system or hack the game, you can. Like if you want to run a game without magic items, here's how you do that. If you want to run a game that's got more of like less inflating numbers, the way that like 5e is, there's apparently a way to do that too. And I'd love to see something similar for Starfinder.
It's cool that they're finally putting out a book like sort of the Pathworld books for but like near space. I'm really looking for that like on the Vesk and
I want. You know what? There's so much of that stuff that's been filled out already. I would much prefer something that would be a strict DM resource. I want to see ways I can tweak this system. That would be a way of I think, addressing the rumors of a second edition of Starfinder. You know, you get to have your cake and eat it too. You have that in there, and then be done. But I agree, like the Vest stuff is going to be interesting too. But I would at this point kind of like something that was just for us DMs. Because fuck you, players, really.
But I mean, it's far too early for a Starfinder second edition.
Completely
That's not going to happen.
That's not actually going to happen, is it? That's just a rumor?
Oh, I think that's just, rumors.
Okay.
I mean, it would be nice to have some more stuff for the operative, for the burglary, the cyberpunky things for like unarmed combat.
Yeah.
You know, you could build a character like Agent May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. I think that this. I mean,
not just rely on guns and knives.
I'm anticipating that's what's going to be partly in the player's book. Is like because there's supposed to be a whole bunch of extra like class things and whatnot in there, all player focused stuff. But I would like to see a DM focused or GM focused thing as well. And for the life of me, I still can't figure out why they didn't call it a Star Master. That was like, I guess game mastery is their sort of.
I suspect someone might have the
oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right.
Because,
yeah.
Rollmaster used to have Star Master.
Yeah.
And I bet somewhere they've still got the trademark on that.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Okay. So, you are hammering the accelerator, and you guys are now racing towards the front gate. So, let's see here. I think what I'm going to need from you is... Let's see here. I think I need a piloting check. Let me figure out what the difficulty is going to be here.
Didn't JT roll a piloting?
Yeah, I did, just as we said, and that's...
Oh, you did already? Yeah, I'm just going to... Oh, okay. So that is not going to be quite good enough. Let me...
Okay, I'm going to Nova Point that and try and, like, get around that.
Okay.
I mean, for what? Just to accelerate? I mean, there is...
No, to break through the gate.
Ah, okay.
Without damaging the vehicle. That's what we're... kind of... Yeah. As is always the case. Jesus.
I will backseat drive and, tell him what he's doing wrong.
Yeah, no!
But everyone in the back, that's the...
Okay. So let's see here. So the collision damage is based on the level of your vehicle, which is...
What are we crashing into? Describe this gate.
It's a metal gate. It's like a picture, the kind of like heavy wrought iron gate that you would have at like a rich person's home in modern day. That's effectively what's there. It's
probably not leaving on a happy note.
This is how you say I won't be back. Okay.
P.S. Sorry about the door.
Yeah, yell it out as you're going. Sorry about your door. All right.
Take it out of the sheriff's retainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Making it easier for the others to break in. I mean, that's...
Okay, so unfortunately that's not quite good enough, which means that your vehicle... I'm trying to figure out how much the thing has in hit points. It won't be in there. While I'm making my wish list, in the GM's guide, I'd love a whole bunch of vehicles.
Yeah, they even in the gear book, the armory seemed to lack on vehicles as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a design sequence for a vehicle saying you want to build something at tier 5.
Yeah.
No, GOBS vehicles. No.
Well, we don't want to go down the whole Traveller Striker route.
No, I don't need.
Pound.
But I mean, like something that is, if they've already got kind of rules for building NPCs. If I saw something similar to that, you know, had like a passenger vehicle, you know, military vehicle as like starting stats, and then just tier them up from your
in terms
level.
of speed, or you know, you
Yeah,
add an
that would be
extra
awesome.
couple of seats, or you add a cargo bed. Yeah, it would work as an NPC type build. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then you guys take. Let's see here. Wham! Oof, it's a lot of damage. Let's roll this. That is.
Get the duct tape.
Bam! Okay, so
Typically have that in my backpack for very.
Yeah, we'll do here, so you guys can track this. Let's give your vehicle its hit points.
Yeah, the vehicle section in the armory is a bit scarce.
Yeah, it's a bit
1, 2,
scant.
3, 4 pages.
There's some interesting vehicles. I've got one I want to use when I have a write up Cat's backstory.
Boom, there we are. Okay, so there's the health bar, as it were, for your vehicle, and subtracting the hardness of your vehicle, here's how much damage it takes. Bam! This is an old vehicle. It's sturdy, but it is an older vehicle. So this thing kind of shakes as the door goes away, or the thing goes away.
I will, as we're driving away, I will cast Mending, which will help a tiny bit.
Okay. What is mending? Click on mending.
It, I can heal it as a
See
one-off, 1d4 hit points.
Let's see here.
So we did burst through the gate doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
And it actually roll.
All of
Okay,
the
so-
pieces for this object must be present for this to function. Yeah. I don't.
Oh no, you know it targets one object of up to one bulk. That is.
Oh,
less.
okay. Yeah. I was
Never
wondering
mind.
if it was something you could hold in your hand, because that. Okay, so you. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that Brent, there is in the. I think in Pack Worlds there is actually something that is a spell that specifically is like a heal objects type thing.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah, just as an FYI. So, this thing smashes through, and you kind of like, oh wow! Why doesn't everyone give me a reflex save, please? Let's see if anyone gets tagged by these gates as they collapse.
Yep.
Ooh, that ain't good. Yeah, I'll just do this. Okay. So, yeah, medium. All right. Tom fails. Cat. That ain't good enough. Ingolf, yeah, or Voldan, no problem. Zakros, no. Oh, man. All right, guys. So, let's see here. Cat, you get tagged for 11 points of damage. Zakros, you get tagged for 15 points of damage. That thing hit you right in the head. And Tommy Android, fucking 16 points of damage. Good lord. All right. Now.
Sorry, that was the wrong.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
that was
that was
yeah.
the wrong character. Oh no, sorry, it is mine. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, but you remember to take off your what do you call it? Fatigue, not your hit points. No.
That should be my stamina.
Your blue is.
Oh,
is
sorry,
the
no.
stamina.
You're right. I did it the wrong way around.
Yeah.
It blew through my stamina into the hit points.
Did it really?
Yeah, well, 1 hit point.
Oh yeah, you got really quite so. Yeah, that clerked in the head. All right, guys. So we are about to drop into another chase because Tom, and you have Tom to thank / blame for this. Tom has expressed many times how much he enjoys the Mad Max settings. So how could I not give you guys a chase with bandits across a desert world. Although I really have you guys to thank for offering this excuse up.
Yeah, but I would like to make one change. So I said Tom had to read the map, so I cannot move his token, but he has to be in front.
Okay.
That also fits the damage much better.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
And I say, JT, what you doing?
This thing starts going away. Okay, so guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna handle this just like the previous one. Let me actually give me a sec here. What do I have here? What do I have set up? Let's do this. Give me 2 seconds here to set up something because I know I've got a nice big dunes map and I can set up some adversaries for you. What I'd like you guys to do is consider what your first action is going to be, because each of you will have one action as you're going. I mean, Cat is driving, and each of you guys, as this thing's spinning away, you will have an opportunity to do one thing. And that's not just be shot by Hilke. That one you get for free.
Alright, I pull my pistol.
Okay, let's see here. Where are you? I'm coming up on it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Okay. Is this one another nice thing about Roll20 is once you've spent some time with it, you really do build up a pretty lengthy, list of things you can just draw, or assets you can just draw on. Oh, here we go. This is in the right area here. So let's see. Yes. Great. Okay. Now, did I cut and paste to you guys?
We are still on the old map.
Yeah, I'm just curious how I got grabbed your tokens or not. And I did not. Yo. This is gonna be so great. Alright. I'm so easily amused. Alright, and now let me get here. Okay, and we will use, let's see here. I wonder if there is. Has everyone decided on what their action is going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will draw my gun and fire, so my laser rifle.
Yeah.
And then fire at the
Okay.
remnants
Yeah.
of the...
If I see someone following us, I shoot at it.
Okay.
I have Master Blaster in my head.
Yeah. Just walk away.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Say it. Say it. Who is in charge?
Oh, man. All right. So. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to do sort of the same informal kind of chase rolls we did before, where there are basically 3 zones, and then shit will happen as you guys pass through each area. Let me go bring you over here, or boom, there we go. All right, this is what we're going to use to model our chase here, guys. So, picture the left column where you guys are, that is the front. The one behind there is the second kind of row, and the third one is the third row. There are each of the little motorcycles. Those are hover cycles with you can picture like scrap hover cycles with guys on them, hilky mercenaries. The vehicles are sort of like Mad Max style, kludged together, like effectively like hover dune buggies with guys on them, and they have these big cannons on the back as well too. They're going to be firing at you as you guys are fleeing. So first thing I'd like to do is to have you guys go ahead and give me click on your character token. Let me make sure that the initiative tracker is free. Yep, it's empty. Go ahead and click on your character token and then click on initiative, please.
Just a small question about the fiction. So all of these things were already in place, and we completely failed to see them when we.
No. This is what's happened. Is as soon as you guys are doing that, they're saying, "Get on, go," and they're going to be hopping on. This is an abstraction of it. We're not doing like an on the map moving you guys along.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah. This is like
5
as you guys are trying
meters
to get out of town, these things are catching
okay.
up to you because.
I see.
Yeah. No, this is not. And this is part of the reason why, like, I'm using a kludged version of the chase rules in it rather than the tactical rules, and like. This is why I like the chase rules so much better than the tactical rules, because they make for much more of a cinematic kind of, Yeah. But no, they're not all waiting, although it seems as if once what's-his-name stops fleeing, then I imagine he's going to have some words for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so, excellent. Everyone's rolled. Let me roll for these guys. Okay. Oh, Brent, we added, incidentally, you may see that in the character tab, we've got your robot. I added a picture because you didn't have one. So, your robots are all nerds.
Okay, I did not. Okay, I'll have to check, yeah.
Take a look. Here you go.
Not quite how I pictured it, but...
Okay.
That's cute, actually.
Yeah, it's very cute. Okay. So, then, let me roll initiative for these guys. I'll roll for the, basically I'll do the trucks, or the, whatever, hover dune buggy things, and the vehicles separately. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so for the trucks. Where is it? Okay. Oh, nat 20. I'll stop rolling with that dice. Another one. There we go. That's much more reasonable.
It's also 20.
Okay, here we go. So let's put them in descending order. Okay, so I mentioned that you guys have one action you can do as you're fleeing from the Okashog's base. What is it that you guys each do? Voldan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I would like to shoot at the leading vehicle there.
Well,
whatever
okay,
that is.
They're, as you pointed out, like they won't be ready just yet. This is sort of like the last thing you can do as you're fleeing from the what do you call it? From the base.
Yeah. Okay. So then I would just try to shoot a little bit more at the gate. So probably make the way even more complicated. So.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So you fire at that. Kat, your main action is going to be controlling the vehicle, obviously. Anything else you were hoping to do?
Well, can I effectively try and push it? So effectively do the vehicle equivalent of a run. So effectively, I was spending all my time just concentrating on getting as far as fast away.
Yeah, that's what we're assuming. The reason you're like 3 ahead of these guys and not not even with them. That's the reason you've done that. Zachros, anything you want to do?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to remove from the bag to throw out, is there? And all the passengers are still conscious, so I just wait.
Okay. You're waiting for you to get hurt. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Oh, wait, I just put on my seatbelt or whatever.
Nice. And how about you, Tom? On the android, what are you doing?
I think this is a good time to put on the junk armor. So out of my backpack, all this some junk and like sheets of metal sort of falling over and look like an odd forming thing of, I guess, like scale mail.
Love it. It all seals around you, and you're, I think, knowing the what do you call it, the weather you're driving into as well, guys. You all activate your helmets as well too, so you're in sealed environments now, except for maybe not Tom. Okay.
Okay.
So,
and this is really desert, like sand, and
yeah.
it will blow, and so yeah, okay.
Okay.
And I
So,
got an idea.
what direction are you guys heading? Are you heading directly? I know that your intended final point is going to be that Starfield. Is that where you're heading towards? Where all the scrap ships are?
Yeah. Which direction from town was that?
That was north of town.
Maybe we shouldn't go
Is that
directly
going
there.
past the other guy's house?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the opposite.
Okay, I'm going to effectively drive out past the other guy's house.
Okay.
Because if they're going to chase us, they're going to have to go past him, and that might kick off.
Okay.
So I don't want to go directly where we're going. You see what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm going to go out the other way past the other gang's house.
Okay.
And then we'll turn around in the desert and try and lose them.
Okay. That sounds good. So let's pick up with you guys.
And
Just
I'll wave at the guys if they're still standing out there.
yeah.
Go past.
They do. They sort of see you go by, and the one guy kind of, he sees you go by. The Shobhad, wow. And then there's a as basically everyone in the thing goes zipping past them. By the time they all pass, a bunch of them come running out. But we pick up our chase here with you guys in the desert, and they're chasing after you. So we're gonna do it just like we did last time, where we're gonna have two different kind of stages to this. We'll do the chasing stage, and then we will do the what do you call it? The combat stage. So chasing, this is your wheelhouse here, Kat. What are you doing? You can try and increase the distance here. You can try and, let's see here. Yeah, you can speed up to try and get ahead of them, to move one zone away. That's to get away from these guys. You can try and do a trick to make it more difficult for them to hit you. You can make do a trick to make it more difficult for them to catch up to you. So what do you think?
I think I'm effectively just going to try and open the distance
Okay.
to see
So-
what happens.
just-
If they start getting a bit
just-
closer, we might have to start thinking about dodging.
Okay.
Just a short question. So last time we had this idea that we could help him in his role. Is this still something?
Yeah,
we could
absolutely.
do?
If you guys have a narrative thing you can add in to try and help with it. I'm picturing right now there's probably some like rocky outcroppings outside of town, just looking at the image we were using for Ebbetsburg. But it's more of like a stony badlands kind of area, more so than like, shifting dunes. But so you can use that to fill in your narrative kind of explanations. Do you have something in mind, Voldan?
Yeah, I wanted to have some kind of sand blowing in the way, but so if there is no dunes and so no sand, but loose stones, I don't know how to get.
No,
that.
there's probably
So
that there too. But I mean, like, is there something that Voldan is going to do to try and help with that?
My idea was I could shoot at some thing where some rocks fall off or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and then they
Yeah.
will.
Sure, we'll say there's probably some of these things setting up. It's these big, like we call them. Oh, what do we call them here?
I know what
Hoodoos.
you mean, where it's been worn away and they're like pillars.
Yeah, it's hoodoos is what we call them. So it's basically like it's when the wind and whatnot wears away sedimentary rock and it leaves these cool kind of, big tall structures. You, go ahead and make a attack roll. Give me a shot there, Voldan.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
hold my action till after. Or is this prep action?
This
or-
is the chase part where we're dividing it into like chase part and then combat part.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my action. till-
You've thrown your rifle at the hoodoo.
Oh, I've thrown my rifle. That's that's what.
Yeah, this makes room for more hammers.
Yeah, so 90. That's
Okay, so what I'll say is actually one of them needs to make a check against a hazard as the hoodoo is kind of collapsing over and the kind of thing that was balancing on top of it begins to fall down. Zachros, what are you doing? Anything to help out with the chase?
Actually, I was thinking, but I have no idea how I could help JT driving, or I just get ready to shoot the
Okay.
motorcycles.
Tom the android, do you have anything to do in the chase portion?
Yeah, what I was thinking is I'm gonna try and time it with Voldan. So Voldan shoots something down, and I'll try and daze the driver to. Let me check.
What's the range of days?
And then to make them.
What's the range on it first, Brent?
I'm just looking into that.
I think it's like a.
I think it's short, actually.
Yeah, so just so you know, Brent, like each zone, vehicles in the same zone are considered to be 50 feet apart unless they're engaged. Vehicles in a different zone are 200 feet away. The ones that are far behind you are 400 feet away.
You know what? I will
30
not
feet.
do that with because I'm guessing 30 feet was a bit too close. So,
Okay. Do you
let me
have something else you want to try and add, Brent? This is kind of the opportunity to add in some narrative stuff, more so than like finding a specific or a creative use of a spell, maybe.
I don't. Magic missile has a range, but unless I know it's accurate, would you say it's
Okay, that's
accurate
combat
enough?
stuff, Brent. Just to be clear, I know you missed the first one. What we're doing is the chase stuff is sort of like what we're seeing in the fiction of you guys helping you guys get away, and then we'll do a combat phase as well.
All right.
I'll let you think about it for next round. How about?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, so then let's see here. One of these guys needs to make a check against. Oh, I rolled 17. Shit. So one of them, you hit that thing, and these guys, you see one of the hover bikes kind of, turns and spins around and kind of just misses that falling thing. And then, Kat, give me a piloting check, please. Ooh, pretty good. Okay, now the ones chasing you, they are faster than you, so they do get a bonus. Unfortunately, you are bringing the, Pure Later delivery van out in a street race. So let's see here. We got 1, 2. So 2 of them are actually overtaking you. One of them actually does not succeed, but doesn't fail. Oh, no, it did fail so badly, it actually falls back. I think it's that one that you distracted there, Voldan. Unfortunately, because it had to avoid your what do you call it? The falling hoodoo. Let's see what the ones behind. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there 4 or 5 hover cycles? 4 hover cycles. Let's see. We got. Okay, so one of them you've lost altogether. It's fallen too far behind, and then the other 3 are able to catch up. And then the 2 big hover things, hover dune buggies. Ooh, one of them, and the one behind. Ooh, does not. You've actually lost it. I think it tried when the one hover cycle kind of weaved and try and get out of the way. It forced the other one to sort of get out of the way. So it drops completely off of the map. And I'm just gonna put it down here because I can't remember which one I actually set up as the initiative tracker. Oh, that's the one. God damn it. 50-50 chance of that being wrong. And sure enough, boom, he's back. I'll just put an X through him, how about? Okay. Now,
change
comment.
the 2.
Let's see here. Boom and boom.
Yeah, swap the 2 cars.
Oh yeah, that would be easier. Let's see
Right.
here. Wow, whatever, I got it done already. Okay, now. Now. Let's see what we're shooting at. So, the first up is this guy, and you can see behind the wheel there's a Hilky guy who's got big goggles on. He's got like some kind of helmet thing on to protect him, and he's yelling back, "Shoot him! Shoot him!" And there's a guy on the back who's got this, you know, giant kind of crude-looking cannon thing. He powers it up, and let's see here. What is the... Oh, actually, you won't know. The AC of your vehicle is not... Hold on. Oh, yeah, you could have taken a maneuver to try and make it harder to hit, but you elected against that. May I say, wise choice. Okay. Oh, this is gonna hurt if it hits. You guys are good at desert survival, right? You guys can survive. This is also, you have Thomas to thank as well, too. He loves the Dark Sun, you know, need for
blame me for everything.
Exactly.
I've got survival gear in my backpack, and I've got the desert.
We get a couple of hover bikes. There's no problem. We don't need to stay in the desert.
Okay,
that's right.
So the
I got some stones hidden somewhere in my body.
So you can see Cat in sort of like the rear view mirror. You see this guy land up, and you see the cannon starts like cycling through, and you're like, wow, and move, and this thing fires out, and you can see the bits of the stone and sand behind you is being chewed up by this thing, but it misses. Zakros, your turn. What are you doing?
How far is that bike away from me, this one?
Those two ones are probably about 50 feet away.
50?
Yeah, 50.
Too far. Then I shoot at it.
How far do you need them to be?
30 feet.
30 feet? Because remember, what you couldn't do maybe is drop down in the order and get Cat to just swerve closer. Like, I won't let him engage with him because that's something during the chase phase, but he could, you know, take his action to just get in closer if what you want to use is a short-range spell.
Maybe I have a better idea. I ask Cat if he can line our followers up so that the first one I command to fall, and then it hits all the others somehow, you know? But first I shoot at the...
Okay.
That's a reasonable plan, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the usual. That's plan B. Plan A is hit with hammers.
Yeah. I shouldn't have told you my plan altogether. Okay.
Oh.
Bad.
So being jostled around, firing away. Unfortunately, not quite good enough. Quite good enough. Okay, and
5 rounds left.
I thought
you
a
guys
semi-auto had 9. A semi-auto has 9, actually. I don't know if that's a... But...
You guys got some rounds from that last batch of guys.
That's right, but I used them the last time, so...
Okay.
I thought we filled up when we did the target practice. I think we got some...
What was expended in the target practice was not used up. You won't get free rounds. Like we're going to say it's a net of 0 that was expended. Okay. You did use some, but then you got some off of those that one bandit that you guys took down, or not bandit, but the mercenary. Okay. All right, Tom the android, what are you doing?
Okay, so there's a dude on a cannon.
200 feet behind you.
I wonder if the magic missile will be good enough. Give me 1 second to double check the range on that.
Okay.
That one's got a longer range. No, 130 feet, so I am out of range.
Okay.
What's closer? What's the one that's...
the two other ones that are on your zone are 50 feet away.
Okay, I will do a... is there any big thing? I'll do a... So that's one of the motorcycles. So I'll do one of the full round magic missile on one of the motorcycles.
Okay, on the motorcycle or the pilot?
Or on the pilot of the motorcycle.
Okay, go ahead and roll. And again, it looks like blaster bolts, right, as it goes out.
Yeah. So
Okay.
here's some blaster bolts.
Oh. I wonder.
5 each. Alright. So 15 damage.
So I was looking at, because of the what do you call it? Because of the summoning rules, Brent. I was actually looking at how spells, like for for full action. Never mind. It's not 1 round. Never mind. I wasn't sure. I thought it was 1 round it would take, and 1 round doesn't actually manifest until the start of your next turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't apply for magic missile. It does apply for summoning,
Okay.
which is good to bear in mind. Only because breaking concentration is fucking brutal in this game. If you
Yeah.
take-
Then it.
Yeah. Okay.
ends it.
So, but yes. Okay. So let's see here. How much damage does he do?
14.
14 damage. Wowzers. Okay.
How is it 14? I thought it's 15.
It looks like the third missile has got it 4.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
two
always thought
at
it-
5 and 1 at 4, I think. I think that's how they've done it. They just don't split it out if they've got the same,
Okay. So
same
Tom,
result by the looks of it.
you look out the side
yeah.
of the thing. You gesture with your hands. Those 3 blaster bolts fire, and you blast this guy off of the hover cycle, and it kind of hits the ground and spins it, pinwheeling through the air. It is destroyed. Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, this guy is coming into my shooting range. That's nice of him.
Very nice of him.
So so I will just do target practice again,
Okay.
I suppose. That's because I mean, all these complicated plans, they don't work. This time I try not to throw my laser rifle, but
Okay.
use it to shoot.
Here we go.
And now I think
Oh.
we'll both missed. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And everyone gets, it's past 1 o'clock, everyone gets a hero or a Nova point as well.
Oh, so then I will do a reroll. So
Yep.
that's, just to make a good first impression.
Okay.
That's equally bad.
And that is actually good enough to hit. Are you firing at the motorcycle rider?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the second shot does not hit. The first one does.
Oh. So okay.
But each
So
other
then I would-
wobbles and waves, but does not is not taken down.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Kat, what are you doing?
I'm going to effectively change direction and try and push the guy to my left.
Okay.
Of course, while still trying to maintain speed.
Okay. Why don't you give me a piloting check, please? Let's see here. We'll contest it against theirs. So, what are you trying to do with him? Are you just trying to what's the intended? What's the outcome you want from this? Are you trying to ram him, or are you trying to?
Well, ideally, I'm going to try and ram into him, but I don't know whether I can do that. But I
Yeah.
want to get him close enough that short-range spells can take effect.
Yep. So the DC of that'll be a KAC of the other vehicle, which I think that's good enough. And why don't you give me collision? Yep. So here's mechanically the way it works is that you have used a move action to engage with this thing. So now it's basically right next to you, and then you're using your standard action to try and ram this thing. You do hit, and would you kindly roll 5d4 damage? You're just giving me the command. Kev, roll 5d4. It's slash, roll, then 5d4. That works too. You can gaslight the DM, command the DM.
Was that an intimidate check?
Yeah, really. Oh man!
that's-
So Mo, what does it look like as you smash this thing to bits?
Well, I imagine I glance on it, and he sort of like then tumbles,
Yeah.
and then it sort of goes head over heels, and he goes off flying.
Awesome.
Obviously, I presume he'll take damage from landing, but I think we can.
Oh
probably
yeah,
do that.
he's no. This is not so much a matter of like taking damage so much as it is like notifying next of kin. He is he's not around anymore. Okay, then so that next up is the motorcycle. We got a bunch of guys who are way behind, and I think that the only way
Cat
they're
just comments over the com. We just arranged a promotional deal with that Undertaker.
yeah. So you guys have I'm gonna give you partial cover from where you're sitting as well too, because like your half of your body is concealed by this thing. Let's see. There's only going to be. It's got to be in a really extraordinary roll for them to actually hit. Here.
Hang on, isn't it nighttime?
Yeah. On the
they see?
dunes.
Can they see properly?
Yeah, there's not. One of the things about the desert is that because there's not a lot of condensation, it's usually a lot of clear skies.
All right.
Good call, though. It's also Starfinder, where like everything in their grandmother has dark vision.
Yeah.
So, you know. Okay, so these guys behind you are blazing away with their weapons, and it's a mix of like lightning guns and firearms, like kinetic firearms and laser guns. But it's all kind of zipping past you guys. You're just too far away. Then at the end of the round, Wood. Let's see here. I'll start with the far left. Vuldan, would you kindly give me a D4 roll, please?
A D4.
Yes, please.
Okay.
1. Oh, you're giving me no fun, Ingolf. What you see, movie chase style, is this another motorcycle or hover cycle comes over a dune and bam, lands, boom, right next to you guys.
Oh, that's what.
Okay. Now, you know what I'll do is because everyone is. Oh no, you're one. Those ones are one away. Okay. That is the end of the round. So let's do the chase phase first too. So now, Kat is going to be making that roll. Zakros, Tom, and Voldan, you guys can try and help out here. So Brent, what we were doing last time is this is again like we're trying to keep it kind of loose and more in the narrative vein here. If you want to try and aid with Kat's roll, you can do that. If you've got something else that might force a hazard roll on your enemies, that would definitely be a possibility.
Okay, I'd like to aid Cat. This is my idea. Is because we're on a different planet and this Akiton's got that low atmosphere.
Thin atmosphere, yeah.
Thin atmosphere. Sorry. I'd like to use physical sciences to go. No, okay, we're driving in a thin atmosphere to maximize your speed because there's less air resistance. You want to maneuver like this.
Okay.
So
give me. That'll be.
It's like a pure, technical,
Sure. Let's do this, Brent. We'll see if you're right. Why don't you give us a physical sciences roll?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds sound to me. So we'll give Kat will get +2 from that. You sort of re-enter rejig the what do you call it? The output on the vehicle. How about Zakros and Voldan? Do you guys have anything to try and help with the chase here?
Doesn't a specific type of cactus grow here on Akiton? When I shoot at it, it explodes and it obscures everyone's vision.
So that's gonna be a pretty difficult culture check. But give me a culture check. Let's see if that is actually the case.
Yeah.
Because I can see that. Ooh, a 20.
The Akitonian watermelon.
Yeah. I think So I think what you can do is you remember that from one of your times on there, and I'll let you take shots at that, and it'll create a hazard for let's say 2 of the motorcycles or hovercycles that are chasing you.
Okay.
And yeah, then it's exactly it. They take a tiny little hit. And maybe what happens is you see, as Cat's going along, you graze one and you see it explode out.
Yeah.
And then you realize that this thing's, what they do is they normally embed the seeds into like the living flesh of things, and then they grow from that. So you're like, all right, this is going to be terrific. Yeah, and keep going through this field. And then you're, setting these things off. How about Vuldan?
I think I will try to do the Undertaker impression. So this signaling 3 already down.
Nice. Give me an intimidation check, please.
Yeah, I will do so. My monitor, my screen went just black, but now it's on again.
Let's see. Not bad. So I'm. Okay. What I'll do is I will do something on my end for that. Okay, Kat, you currently have a +2 thanks to Tom's atmospheric advice. You didn't know he was a meteorologist as well as an archaeologist. So go ahead and give us a. First off, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to just outpace these guys still? Are you trying to lose them, or what?
Well, I think until we get rid of the bikes, I'm going to keep going, but I am trying to dodge that cannon at the back, because that was quite a close call.
Dodge.
Effectively, I'm going to effectively remain at my current speed and then try and weave a bit. But then obviously, nice. I'll try and get a bit closer to the bike on the right-hand side as well.
Yeah. Give me a piloting check, please. Let's see here. Ooh.
And I think I'll know the point now.
Okay. It's not a crit failure, just... Hey, Nat 20! Oh my god. Okay, so what were you just trying to ram that thing?
No, effectively I was dodging. But I am trying to get closer so that if anyone wanted to do a daze or a short range spell,
okay,
I'm trying to get so we were within
absolutely. So I'm going to give you a
20 feet or so.
To your, because of the crit success, I'll give you a +4 to your AC for the purpose of getting hit, and that's both the vehicle and you guys. And you will be engaged, so on your turn, you're going to be able to take a standard action to just ram these things. Okay, so then next up is your pursuer. And he fires that big cannon again. You're wishing you put a little more armor on this thing. Or maybe you're not, because it misses! So hits the ground again. You duck to the side. There's those cactuses that are behind you. We're all exploding. Let me make the... I actually forgot you. Let me make the piloting checks for these things behind you. Let's see. We got one that's way behind. Let's see if he still keeps up. Yes, he does. You almost try to kill him with a hoodoo. He's gonna get you. And then there are 4 more, it looks like. 1, 2, nope, 3 more. Let's see how these guys do. They all are slowly inching up. That one that is engaged with you, I think he is... Oh man, he's gonna actually try and jump on. These guys are crazy! Oh, in fact, maybe he's got someone in the back with him. So he is gonna try and deliver. Now that you're engaged, there's a guy on the back, witness me, who's gonna jump onto the back of yours. And let's see here, what do we got for? I wonder. I got anything here? Oh, yes. How's this, guys, for our the thug who jumps onto you? Just picture him with red skin instead.
Do we need to help him come on board? I mean, I would help him so I could.
You would help him?
Brawl. Yeah, so he can come on board and then I can throw him out. That's the idea.
Okay, let's now the what do you call it? The bigger vehicle, the hover dune buggy. Let's see here. It keeps pace. Does not accelerate, doesn't catch up, doesn't fall behind. So it's still 200 feet behind. You're really doing a good job of... And then the Zakros, who was going to be affected by that that cactus? Was it the hover dune buggy with the cannon or one of the smaller vehicles?
So, hover dune buggy.
The hover dune buggy, okay.
Yeah.
Give me a D20 roll, please.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, roll 5d4, please. $15. Ooh. Jeez. Yeah, so what happens, let me just quickly show you a bar here so you can get a sense of exactly how much of an impact this has had on this thing. Okay, here we go. Boom. So you guys can all see the bar now, yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens to the hover dune buggy.
Ah.
Wow. So that gun, I think, on the back is kind of like and firing off all wildly. In fact, let me make a. It zorches one of the motorcycles, or hover cycles. Okay, so that was it. Zakros, your turn. What are you doing? There's a guy right behind you who has joined. He's got a big, like, it looks like a stun baton of some kind. He's activated.
Yeah, I command him to flee.
That's awesome.
Nice. Okay, so let's get his will save. A 2 is not going to do it. So what is it you say? Flee?
Yeah.
So he like, ha! And he leaps off the back, and then you hear as one of those cactuses goes up, it sends his body flying in the air, and then it lands, BAM! On the front of this hover dune buggy, and it slides off the front. He's no longer. Boom. All right, you still have a move if you want, but I'm guessing you're not going to move.
No.
All right, Tom the android, what are you doing?
All right, so it looks like that bike this one, the one next to us, that it's in close range, right? Because we're engaged.
Yep.
I will try and daze the driver
Nice.
And see if you can crash himself.
Sure. Let's see here.
I need a DC 15.
Well, yeah, can't take an action. Presumably, you would just completely slow down.
So he's got a DC. Let's see here. Ooh, he actually makes it.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. What's this? No, he doesn't. Sorry, Brent. He doesn't have. There's no bonuses to his will save. So you, yeah. I'm just quickly looking at the tactical rules. I think there's a. If you don't take an action to control the vehicle, there is a uncontrolled vehicles. If an uncontrolled vehicle runs into an obstacle or another vehicle, it crashes. This deals double the collision damage. So really, I mean, it's Cat's coming up here. You can see this thing is slowly. The guy is kind of zoned out, you know, and he's got. You can recognize, I think, the weird like matrix display on his eyes that you know happens when Tom does his thing. But Voldan, you're up next. What are you doing?
So yeah, there are now 2 of those bikes in my shooting range. So
Yep.
I will, I will just shoot the first one twice.
Go ahead.
I mean, just to make sure.
Here we go.
Maybe. Oh well, one hit.
One hit, yeah. So you tag the guy. It does not, unfortunately, do enough to. You're firing at the guy, not the bike, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, not enough to take him down, but he is hit. Cat, what are you doing? You think a good, like, if you spend your standard action to ram this thing again too, it's going to do double damage.
Okay, I'll just slightly stick the back end out and like knock him flying.
Okay.
So effectively just.
I really don't need you to roll necessarily, but it sounds like fun to roll
Let
this.
me roll, so if I get a 1, so I just don't do it.
10d4, please. Yes. Oh, that was your piloting check.
Okay.
No, you don't need to do
10D.
that. Because he's dazed, he's not going to be avoiding you whatsoever. He's sort of staring off. You can just roll damage. 10d4. Let's see. So, what's it look like as this guy goes flying?
Well, I think I just sort of clip him with the back of the vehicle and just flies off straight into one of those
Cactuses?
hoodoos.
Yeah. Oh, to the hoodoos, nice!
And him and just stuck into the wall.
Yeah. And he's still got those, like, the glazed over, Matrix display in his eyes as he... BAM! And you see this explosion in the darkness behind you guys. And that is another one down. Okay. Now, next up is the cyclists. Now, because of the evasive maneuvers, it's going to be really hard to hit you guys. But they are going to still try and hit you guys. I have 2 that are at within 50 feet. I don't think even with the... Plus 6 is 23. Let me see who... 1, 2...
Yeah, I think they were shooting at me, aren't they?
4. Actually, Tom the Android, it looks like. Tom the Android, you take your KAC and add...
Well, wouldn't it be Voldan or me?
No, I rolled randomly.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I rolled randomly, see who they're targeting.
So KAC and what?
Plus 8.
Oh, 24.
Whoa. So like a bullet just zips right past your face. I rolled 23 to hit. That's why I wanted to double check. So yeah. What the shit?
What the fuck?
Okay, and then there is one motorcycle or one hovercycle behind you guys. Nat 20. So let's see who gets hit here. We'll roll randomly again. 4. Tom the Android, you are drawing a fair amount of attention here.
It's my personality. Everyone likes me from that group.
Oh, everyone loves you if they're... Yeah. That's right, yeah, they did. You take 6 points of damage.
Maybe
there.
they're
Bam! 6 points of damage, Tom.
Okay.
Okay. And that is the end of that round. Now, this round, as you guys are going along, you get out of that cactus field, and you turn, and you find yourself... You're beginning to get into the first part of this... what do you call it? The first part of the starfield, which means that you are beginning to hit your first hazard. So what I need you to do is you will need to make a piloting check to avoid collision here, Kat, if you want to maintain your speed.
Okay.
So do all of them.
So is anyone going to do anything to try and improve my chances? Because we're in that phase, aren't we?
Yeah. Couldn't I just shout at you? I mean, this works in...
Well, you could use the encourage
Yes,
thing
yes.
for a starship captain, I suppose.
The
Because
encouragement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look out!
Yeah.
Give me a, let's see here, Voldan, would you kind of give me a diplomacy
So
check, please?
What?
Or intimidation
No,
if you
no.
want.
Yes.
Okay.
I want the encouragement, the Vesk style encouragement. No.
Okay. I've
Oh,
used
boy.
one over, haven't we?
Does Kat, do you have any, you got a hero, Nova point left, don't you?
Yeah, I've used 2, so we're in the 3rd hour, so I should have 1 left.
Yeah, you should, well, if it's on your token. If there's a dot on your token, that's how we're tracking them so we don't...
Oh, yeah, I have one. I think this is my last one, though, and so it's another piloting.
Yep. So... Oh, that's 20! Holy shit!
So I almost put it into the side of something, and then
Yeah.
as Voldan sort of encourages me, I suddenly realise, oh, there's something I'm running into.
Amazing. Okay, so I rolled 2 nat 1s for some of your pursuers already. So as you guys go into this kind of this series, it's like a whole bunch of like a forest of hoodoos basically, and you're fow. With that nat 20, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-roll one of the ones that succeeded. And I did succeed again, but not as well as I did before. So that means we've got 2 hover cycles that smash into these hoodoos in the darkness. Finally, one of them turns their like headlamp on, and he manages to kind of weave through the... But I have bad news for those of you who are waiting for a hover dune buggy. Because the hover dune buggy did not succeed. Would one of you guys kindly roll 5d4 for me, please? Let's see how much damage it takes from hitting this this hazard.
Guys, we're doing great.
It's enough. So this thing hits one of the sides, it clips it, and it spins it around, and then it slams into the side of another one of these hoodoos. This massive explosion. So both of the dune buggies are now destroyed. You still have, it looks like only, there's one pursuer who's 100 feet back from you. And you know what I'm going to do?
Stop and get the bike off him.
Yeah, come here. Do you want to slow down?
And yeah, stop him. Stop the vehicle and we...
Okay. So I think this guy, why don't you, Voldan, give me another intimidation check, please.
19.
Okay. So you guys slow down, and this guy kind of, because he was about 100 feet behind you, zimps between these hoodoos, and then you realize that you're stopped, and Voldan is just standing up, in the seat, kind of like, they kind of look at you, and take off back across the desert. You guys have successfully fled the guys, so that means we can turn this down as it fades away.
Oh.
The swirling sounds of the desert. Replace it. And you can hear only the sound of, I guess, the swirling wind, the, cry of some kind of, Acatonian live or wildlife. And then, of course, the rumble of your very laboring vehicle. Now, I believe...
Oh, sorry.
So go ahead, Brent. What were you going to ask?
Tom looks at Zakros. I could use a help. I seem to be leaking in a few places.
Speaking of leaking...
Yeah.
I was going to suggest I try and park up somewhere so we can take a 10-minute rest and I can have a look at the engine.
Yeah, because it is damaged. It's broken right now. So it's going to need some servicing in order to...
I'll drive on for 10 minutes and then I'll try and duck in to somewhere there's a side canyon, and I suggest we have a rest. And
for sure.
And probably also a rest and also probably some work on the engine.
Yeah, I say to Tom, yeah, I'm gonna help you. I don't want that my parts get, your parts get broken, so I want to have you in a good condition.
So from a rule, down 7 points, so I don't think I need kind of healing.
Okay.
Yeah, hang
Let's see here.
on,
I'm checking
I
your
just choose which action I will.
Okay, so, where is it here? It's engineering to repair, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
so...
I can assist with that once I get healed.
Yeah, well, I'm suggesting we take a 10-minute rest, and then we pull up the engine. So I think we assumed the engine's underneath the load bed.
Yep.
It actually reminds me of a military vehicle, a Stuart in the UK, which is a 6-wheeled sort of truck thing.
Sure.
But it's very much that style. So yeah, I assume we open up the engine.
Yep.
And we have the toolkit, and if maybe when Tom's had his rest, we both try and fix up stuff.
So this is going to cost. Hold on. It's going to cost you some UPBs. Do you guys have UPBs on you? I was looking at to repair a. Excuse me, my goodness. To repair a broken.
Did we get some?
Let's see.
Well, no, because that's in the future. We got some.
Can we?
I think that future and not future is maybe a little bit wobbly because.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you guys have it, you have it. I'm fine.
Okay, I think we did pick up a few. Yeah, the odd couple of hundred, didn't we? I think.
I'm trying to decide, like, Brent, do you, there's a spell that allows you to convert junk into UPBs, I think. Or am I going crazy here?
It allows me to summon, like, what's it called? The fabricate scrap, but it just makes junk so I can use it for
Oh, okay, so it's nothing that's...
junk.
Yeah, okay.
What about if we backtrack? Can we scavenge from the destroyed motorcycles? Or other vehicles?
I mean, you are in a field full of...
Yeah, maybe there's some
right,
old bits of Starship.
Yeah.
Might take a bit longer than 10 minutes, but yeah, we presumably think we've lost them. We could do a search.
And if you're telling me that you guys are going to go out into a field of fallen starships that I've described already as full of the unquiet dead, you've made me a very happy
we have
DM.
a priest of Pharasma with us, you know?
Yeah.
He'll just send them home.
Would we have to lay all the undead to rest? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we start with a few.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So here's what you need. I'm going to assume that you do not have the UPBs on you right now, because those are, like, they have weight and whatnot, and this may have been the reason where you're like, you know what, we need to bring along spares. I think, because what you need in order to restore it from broken, if it's just damaged, it doesn't cost you anything to repair it. If it is broken, where it's at half hit points, that's where you need the UPBs in order to actually get the thing to lose its broken condition. All broken does is it gives you -2 basically to all the important, like, rolls or stats or stuff like that. So it's still functional. It still moves at the same rate. It's just that it is, it's broken.
Yeah. So we could just use the normal repair to patch up the armor, but the engine stays broken. But the hit points come back, or did I understand that wrong?
Let's see here. Let me take a look here. Oh, I was looking at engineering. Sorry. This will be a relatively easy task for you to do. No, every time you attempt to repair it, you need to spend those UPBs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's at the point where you're like, well, it'll keep moving, but yeah, you do need to go. But I mean, like, in addition to the like this, if you can find UPBs, who knows what other great shit is out in this field as well too. It's probably been, there's a chance it's been picked over as well, but maybe it hasn't. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So far, Vuldan totally enjoys the trip. It's only been fun. Zip zop, and then we had this chasings and all this kind of fighting. That's his world, yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're right, yeah.
So I think the way, guys, I think we'll end this then. Is you guys sitting around talking, am I correct in thinking that you guys are going to try and find the UPBs you need to repair this thing before you head on?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
yeah,
so...
I mean, we could risk it, but if we want to, like, we might have to run away again when we get Marie, so...
And this is sprawling. That's a really good point. This is a fairly sprawling starfield, like, of wrecks as well, so you got tons of these things to choose from. You could just, like, keep further distance and then start, searching, grid by grid to try and find what you want. I think we end with, and Ingolf, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, Vuldan kind of stops and thinks for a moment, and you guys all say, well, or Kat tells you the state of things. That, well, we can go on, but, it's not, it'll get us there, but, I mean, if we take another hit of, like, that, then,
we're walking.
And Tom is the one who points out, Tom the android is like, well, I found that valuable, remember you found that valuable thing last session? There seems to be, if you've got the eye for it, there's things for the taking. And Vuldan says, kind of nods, he says, I understand. So there may be, though it may appear that there is just scrap out there, there may be more to it than, and he makes a card appear in his hand, more than meets the eye. And that's where we'll end the session, guys. So
I just wanted to throw in there to the other thing is we could try and double back for one of those vehicles and then maybe
Well,
get the cannon.
let's
but then
handle
again, it
Brent.
might
We
be
can
shitty.
handle that chat in Discord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For planning what you guys are going to do for next session, because that way, just between now and 2 weeks from now, we will figure out what you guys want to do, and then I will plan accordingly. Whether I'm doing
Not there.
some Starfinder dungeon crawling on Akiton.
There might be some artifacts hidden here somewhere.
Quite possibly. Yeah.
Well, it would be quite nice to have like a gun on the back. Oh.
So, then, as always, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 16 of our ongoing Starfinder campaign. So, guys, we have spent almost 50 hours with these crew members now. So
Still level 3.
yes. As always, for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us. Those who joined us live, those who are listening later. Hey, Flame. Flame just got here, but we're just about to wrap up. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, or if you just want to say howdy, and you can do that. You can also reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also shoot me an email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com, or if you follow a link in the description of the video, you can join us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have been chatting about this campaign, all the other campaigns we run on the channel, as well as other just general gaming things. In addition, we've actually got a channel now for looking for group as well too, and one of our regular players just ran Paladin, the variant game for Pendragon, on that with people who had looked there. So if you're not able to find a game of your own and you're looking to find someone to play with folks like us, you can find that on that channel as well too. Or if you want to run a game, you're welcome to post on that channel as well. See if you can find folks to play. It's all online play, so all you need to have is an internet connection and a willingness to play with strangers. In addition, there is a link in the description of the video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any way. We don't run ads. We don't have Patreon. If you are inclined to toss some Pact Worlds credits in the direction of the channel, I would encourage you to consider clicking through and learning more about the Heroes Save Villages initiative. All donations that are made through that portal go directly to SOS Children's Villages International, which is a really terrific organization that benefits over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children from around the world. To date, the very, very generous donors for viewers and players in the channel have donated over $3,000 to the initiative. And to the point where we've had to readjust the goals for the initiative. So we're back. We were hoping to raise $3,000 this year. We're now hoping to raise $4,000 by the end of the year. So if you are inclined to toss any money in the direction of the channel, that's the direction I would encourage you to consider. I don't want anyone to feel obligated, of course, but if you are inclined to toss money in the direction of the channel, that's a way you can do so and benefit some kids who could very, very much use some help. Last but not least, I want to thank my brave Starfinders. So Ingolf, Mo, Thomas, and Brent, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you guys back on Akiton in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
So, for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this ongoing excursion into the past and on Akiton. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time with more Fistful of Shobhads. Until then, happy gaming.